Okay, let's just dive right in. The expanded college football playoff, the whole 12-team format,
Yeah,
it has delivered. I mean, it's given us exactly what we were hoping for.
it really has.
That first round was it was the perfect taste test of chaos and dominance, and now we are ready for the main course, the 2025-26 quarterfinals.
It was a really exciting opening weekend, but, if I'm being honest, despite all the anticipation, there wasn't a whole lot of, genuine down-to-the-wire drama across the board.
Right.
The bigger seeds mostly did what they were supposed to do, but that outcome is actually what makes this quarterfinal slate so good. The matchups are locked in. We've moved from, potential chaos to just pure power against power.
And if you missed that first round, you missed the stories that set this whole thing up. We had three huge games, and each one felt totally different.
Oh, for sure. You had the blowout, right? Number 5, Oregon. They lose both their coordinators to head coaching jobs and still come out and just dominate number 12, James Madison, 51-34.
Which went about as you'd expect.
Exactly. It just showed that talent gap is still very, very real.
But then you had the total opposite. The gritty, defensive slugfest that proved the team actually belonged.
Miami.
Number 10, Miami against Texas A&M. A 10-3 victory. And it was only sealed, with an interception in the end zone in the last few seconds? That was a massive statement.
And then, of course, you have the old guard. You can't forget them. Number 9, Alabama, down 17-0. Just roars back to beat Oklahoma 34-24.
That comeback matched the largest in CFP history.
It did. It showed that grit, that brand, that deep threat speed that just makes them so dangerous, no matter their seed.
So those games were the eliminators. And now the four teams who earned that first round by number 1, Indiana, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Georgia, and number 4, Texas Tech, they finally get on the field.
And they get to face these winners in the traditional New Year's Six Bowls. The bracket is fixed, no reseeding, so the winners go straight to the Fiesta and Peach Bowl semifinals.
It's this collision of two different forces.
Yeah.
You have the rested, prepared teams from the bye week, meeting the teams that are battle-tested, coming in with all that raw momentum.
Momentum versus preparation. We get to see which one wins out.
So our mission for you today is simple. We're going to cut through all the noise. We'll analyze the key matchups, the strengths, the weaknesses, and give you the predictions for this incredible slate of games, which kicks off on New Year's Eve.
And the storylines are just fantastic. You've got the undefeated Cinderella in Indiana.
The huge All-SEC rematch with Georgia and Ole Miss.
Yeah,
It's all here.
it really is. So let's lay out the schedule first, because you are going to need to clear your calendar for this.
Absolutely. We start on New Year's Eve, Wednesday, December 31st. It's the Goodyear Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Texas. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's number 10, Miami versus the defending national champs, number 2, Ohio State.
Then New Year's Day is it's a marathon, a
Yeah.
triple header.
It starts at noon Eastern, Thursday, January 1st, with the Capital One Orange Bowl. That's number 5, Oregon, against number 4, Texas Tech.
Then the one with all the history. The Rose Bowl, 4 p.m. Eastern in Pasadena. Number 9, Alabama taking on the undefeated number 1, Indiana Hoosiers.
And we close it all out in primetime, 8 p.m. Eastern, the All-State Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Number 6, Ole Miss versus number 3, Georgia. And remember, all these games are on ESPN.
And that brings us back to that prep difference we mentioned. The bye teams, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Georgia, Indiana, they've had 3 weeks to rest, to game plan. The other teams just played a brutal elimination game.
And that rest is not a small thing. For a
Yeah.
team like Texas Tech, for example, we're hearing quarterback Baron Morton was playing at, 70% health?
Yeah, with a hairline fracture. So that 3-week layoff isn't a luxury for them. It's a flat-out necessity to get him anywhere close to 100%.
Exactly.
But there's a flip side, right? There's always the threat of rust for those bye teams. And you also have coaching changes. Ole Miss is now being led by their defensive coordinator, Pete Golding, as the interim coach. That's a huge question mark against a machine like Georgia.
Okay, so let's get into the matchups, starting with that New Year's Eve game.
Let's do it. Game 1, the Cotton Bowl. Number 10, Miami versus number 2, Ohio State. The storyline is just perfect. The defending champs coming off that shocking Big Ten title loss to Indiana, facing a Miami team that just silenced every single one of their critics.
And the key matchup here feels pretty obvious. It's all in the trenches. Miami's front seven against Ohio State's offensive line. Miami's defense was just otherworldly against A&M. 7 sacks.
And that's where Ohio State is weakest, or at least where they just failed. They were top 10 all season in lowest pressure rate allowed, but in that Big Ten title game, they just collapsed.
What was the number on that? It was something crazy.
They gave up a pressure rate of 48.6% to Indiana.
Wait, 48.6? Almost half the time their quarterback dropped back, he was under pressure.
Yeah, it was an astonishing failure, and Miami is built to exploit exactly that weakness. The question is, can the OSU quarterback, Julian Sayin, handle that heat?
And on the other side, Miami's quarterback, Carson Beck, he basically has to play the game of his life.
He does. He can't make mistakes. The defense will do its job, but Ohio State just has too much talent. You can't give them short fields with turnovers.
Which is why the predictions are so one-sided here. Ohio State is, what, a 9.5, 10-point favorite?
Yeah, the consensus is Miami's D keeps it close for a half, but Ohio State's talent just pulls away. Something like Ohio State 24, Miami 13.
Okay, shifting to New Year's Day, we start with Game 2, the Orange Bowl. Number 5 Oregon versus number 4 Texas Tech. They're calling this one the biggest toss-up of the quarterfinals.
It's a really fascinating game, mostly because both of these teams have truly elite defenses, which might surprise some people. Both are top 15 in points allowed.
Oregon's offense is just electric, though. Dante Moore at QB is already a projected top pick for the 2026 draft, and they proved in round 1 that losing their coordinators didn't slow them down at all.
True, but Texas Tech's defense might be the single best unit left in this playoff. They're led by the Lombardi and Butkus Award winner Jacob Rodriguez.
A linebacker who just wrecks game plans.
Totally. That unit is number 1 in the nation against the run and, maybe more importantly, number 1 in takeaways. 31 takeaways on the season. You just cannot be careless against them.
But Texas Tech has a huge Achilles heel.
A massive one. Red zone execution. Against winning teams this year, they scored touchdowns on only 32% of their red zone drive.
32%. That's the 4th worst rate in the entire country.
It's terrible. So they are relying so heavily on their place kicker, Stone Harrington. And he's great, but you don't win championships by kicking field goals.
Especially not against an offense as explosive as Oregon's.
Exactly. So the predictions here are split right down the middle. Some have Tech winning 34-26. Others have Oregon 27-23. It's a true coin flip.
Okay, next up, the one with all the pageantry. Game 3, the Rose Bowl. Number 9 Alabama versus number 1 Indiana.
The ultimate new guard versus old guard clash. Indiana, 13-0, first outright Big Ten title since 1945. Heisman-winning quarterback in Fernando Mendoza.
They've been so dominant, too. 2nd in the nation in points margin. But what's really different about them this year is the balance.
Oh, yeah. Their run game has improved so much. They're up to over 220 rushing yards per game. That's the kind of physicality you need to handle a team like Bama.
So why is it then that Alabama, a team that just pulled off a historic comeback, is a 7-point underdog in this game? That feels like people are sleeping on the Crimson Tide.
I think the experts are pointing to Alabama's own inconsistent run game. It's going to be tough for them to move the ball on the ground against Indiana's defense. So Bama's QB, Ty Simpson, has to be perfect.
He's got that deep threat, Latsier Brooks, who had 2 scores in the first round.
He does. Simpson has to play like the Heisman candidate he was in the first half of the season. No mistakes.
But there is that one little crack in Indiana's armor, isn't there?
There is. Their 4th down efficiency, it's not great. They're tied for 90th in the country. In a game this big where every possession matters, that could come back to bite them.
But not enough to sway anyone. All the predictions are picking the Hoosiers to win, something like 28-17.
Yeah, that's the consensus. And finally, we close the night with Game 4, the Sugar Bowl. Number 6 Ole Miss versus number 3 Georgia, the All-SEC rematch.
And Ole Miss wants revenge after Georgia beat them 43-35 back in October. Their offense looked great in the first round, even with the coaching changes.
It did. Trinidad Chambliss at QB has been incredible. The big worry for them is the health of their running back, Kewan Lacey. If he's limited, that really changes their offense.
And on the other side, Georgia's defense just seems to be peaking at the absolute perfect time.
They're rounding into championship form. They've only allowed 29 points over their last 4 games combined. The pass rush is finally coming alive.
And they'll need it. But the key in that first game was just Georgia's physicality. They bullied the Rebels at the line of scrimmage, ran for over 200 yards.
Right. And Ole Miss's run defense is still their biggest weakness. If Georgia can run the ball like that again, they control the clock and they probably win pretty comfortably.
And on offense for Georgia, you've got to watch receiver Zachariah Branch. He's only 4 catches away from their single-season reception record.
So with that history, Georgia is favored by about 6.5 or 7 points. Most predictions see them winning again, maybe 34-27.
So if all those predictions hold up and the bye teams mostly win,
Yeah,
What do the semifinals look like?
We would be looking at Ohio State versus Georgia in the Fiesta Bowl
Wow.
and Indiana taking on Texas Tech in the Peach Bowl.
And the winners of those games, of course, head to the national championship on Monday, January 19th, down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
Which leads to the big question for you, the listener. Which of these 4-bye teams is the most vulnerable? Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, or Texas Tech? Based on everything we've said, I think it has to be Texas Tech. They're only a 1.5-point favorite, and they're so reliant on a quarterback who's coming off an injury. Georgia seems like the safest bet of the 4.
Which makes that Rose Bowl the real defining story of the round, doesn't it? Indiana versus Alabama. Is this the end of the Indiana fairy tale? Does the old guard just prove to be too much?
Or does this undefeated Hoosiers team, with their Heisman winner, prove that the new guard is finally here to dominate? That's really the question you should be thinking about this New Year's.
These are all elimination games. 4 teams will advance, 4 will go home. You will not want to miss a single second.
A big thank you to our sponsor, sportsbrackets.net. They've got all the updated brackets, schedules, and odds you need to follow along.
Head over there right now, fill out your own bracket, and share your picks with us. We want to know who you think is advancing to Miami.
We will be back right after the quarterfinals to break down all the results, the upsets, and get you ready for those semifinal matchups.
Until then, enjoy the games and thanks for joining the deep dive.